So good morning. Thank you to the MIAC organization for this space, and thank you all for joining. It's a big pleasure seeing you again, face to face, personally, especially people coming from abroad that maybe had to face some difficulties in joining. So thank you very much. So today, as you see from the title of this presentation, we are talking about wrapping and especially focusing to alternative materials to conventional plastics. So this is the first page of our, let's say, company profile, where we underline the concept of looking ahead. For our company, looking ahead was always a very wide meaning, always had a very wide meaning. So today when we look at, it's not like a straight view to the future, but it's a more wide and 360-degree view, standing on our 25-year experience, but trying to listen to our customers first, of course, and trying to understand which are the global trends, which are the global needs, and try to deliver solutions compatible with all of this. Of course, today, generally speaking, sustainability is still a big and very important issue, and what we try to do and what we try to see today together is our vision on delivering equipment flexible and capable to handle different materials, of course, sustainable materials, to try to have an alternative to the standard plastic ones that are still mostly used. Actually, our experience with paper wrapping goes a little bit in the past, let's say, first years of this millennium, 2000, 2001. But what we really delivered on the market was a full plastic-free line that we presented in 2018. Let's say it was a full line where no plastic was involved, so primary packaging in paper, and then a case packer as an end of line. It was already a good result in terms of efficiency, in terms of flexibility. Of course, that was the first step in this direction, and since the beginning we had like a very nice interest around, and we saw the first products already a few months later on the shelf. So that was really encouraging for us, and it pushed to a further development, and today we have improved this technology, and in terms of efficiency we speak to figures very similar to the one that we have with the conventional materials. So in these 2 years we have done many things, delivered, of course, new machines to the market, entered into new market as well, like personal care with some stacker and bagger equipment. But most important, we have focused the attention on the development of the existing equipment, on flexibility, on handling different materials. So, of course, speed is a key factor, changeover time is a key factor, but today, listening to the needs of our customer, we understand that having machines capable on the same equipment, same platform, handling different materials, especially, let's say, eco-friendly materials, is a key point to proceed in the next year's business. In the last 2 years, we did something also, let's say, internally very interesting, because you know that we merged into the EMA group 3 years ago, and we have slowly completed our integration into what we call the EMA ecosystem. So this means that EMA was already providing packaging solutions for many market segments. Many of them, EMA companies are world market leader, like pharmaceutical, like tea and coffee, beverage. We are pushing as a group strongly also on the automation segment. We will see maybe something also later. And with the merging and acquisition of TMC, of course, now we have completed also this spot in the tissue and nonwoven area. Tissue and nonwoven, because actually we are part of a hub of companies, of 5 companies, that really represent a hub for our customer. This means that when you are involved in any project regarding tissue and woven, we have a set of companies integrated, talking each other. I mean, you can have one point contact with one of those companies. You know, these markets are somehow closed, so there can be customers who have to handle different type of materials, not only tissue. So in this case, this tissue and woven hub represent a very interesting integrated solution for our customers. We are also joining as TMC a global EMA project that is called emazero. It's generally speaking related to sustainability, but of course we want to, we have always been focused on sustainability as companies, but of course we are trying to give, let's say, a new logic to this sustainability concept, and because we are aware that today we are at the limit. What we do today is what is impacting the future, and we cannot wait any longer. So we have implemented many activities into the group. Some of them are strictly related to materials. We will see it in a while. But the concept of this emazero project is much wider. So we also have 4 pillars. It's a topic trend today, the 4 pillars, I understand. So of course, we started on trying to have all our facilities really involved in reducing the impact on the environment, let's say, adopting sustainable practices as company, as producers. And this is the first pillar, which is called law. Then we have the second pillar, which is the EMOB. I was mentioning before that automation is an important trend inside the group. And this means that we are developing as a group solutions to make mobility much more sustainable in the future. Of course, as a set of companies and as a group, we understand that all of this is anyhow related to people activities inside the company. So of course, much interest and much priority is given to the centrality of people in all these activities. And then maybe the most focused pillar that we are discussing today is the one called NOP, No Plastic. Of course, this is a program where we try to implement and promote as much as possible the replacement of conventional plastic with eco-friendly materials. Of course, doing this, we need to provide solutions that allow our customers to use this kind of materials. And this is why this No Plastic program as a goal has to replace, is to take out plastic from our packaging machines as a final goal. The integration in the EMA ecosystem and in the Tissue and Woven Hub is made possible also through the establishment of what we call Open Lab. So the Open Lab is physically 2 laboratories where we can bring materials and machines at the same time and let's say merge the knowledge on machines and the knowledge of materials, because actually we understand that this is a goal that has to be achieved together. I mean, we cannot develop technical solutions without materials, and materials cannot be developed without a real application of machines. So the Open Lab is the place where this integration can happen. So as you can see, we will merge machine know-how with materials know-how. These laboratories were first founded in 2016, and we have, let's say, already analyzed a huge number of materials, and we have a huge database of materials of almost 300 film and film structure tested. Some of them were also personal experience on projects that I followed. And so we have a powerful database where we can already give immediate answers to some material trials. For instance, we have an interesting case history where the request of one of our customers was to adopt a compostable material to improve the life on the shelf of chocolate bars. Of course, we involved a film manufacturer, and the proposal was to add a compostable paper-based high barrier layer. And of course, we merged these two, the request and the solution, bringing machines group to our labs, trying to test materials. And the final solution was modifying, for instance, some mechanical parts of the machine to make them compatible with the materials. Of course, we could also test this solution with special devices to understand that the pressure inside this packaging was lasting longer due to the combination of this material, temperature. So this was very interesting. I personally followed a project related to eco-plastic materials that had to be sold one on the other. You know that sealing, generally speaking, plastic on plastic is a hard task. So through this open lab, we analyzed all the different layers, the structure of these films, different temperatures. So we, working together with the plastic suppliers, with the material suppliers, we could get at the end two different materials which were keeping all the original characteristic, but who could melt at different temperatures. So we could make two different processes of sealing without impacting on the final quality of the products. So actually, this is a summary of what we've just discussed. So of course, Open Lab is important to measure the effect of materials, to see how the material works, to work together and optimize material and equipment, of course, to understand how to reduce material waste, increase performance, and to benchmark. So this is what Open Lab is made for. On our equipment, of course, we are not only limited to, let's say, to conventional solutions. We try to see it very open, and especially in our packaging machines, we are also still working on water-soluble materials, glues at the end, and on bioplastics, also existing, like Matter B, optimizing, trying to go thinner in thickness. I mean, a very open view on this type of points. This, of course, will bring a lot of opportunities on the different type of wrapping machines that we can deliver. Of course, here we have examples mainly with paper wrapping, but as I told you, we are dealing with many materials. Some of them are already on the market since already a few months or a few years. And we keep developing different solutions, trying to optimize the thickness, the characteristic of the product, trying also to save as much as possible on materials. And this is like a small example of what we are already providing to the market. Of course, we try to do even something more, and we have some new challenges in front of us, trying to get rid of plastic also on the secondary packaging. Of course, different dimensions, different weights require different solutions. So we are testing on our equipment already some smart solution with no plastic also on the secondary packaging. So actually this was like a short intervention on these items. Of course, we have technical resources that can give you much more detailed answers if you are interested in some specific applications for you. And so if you have any questions, I will try to answer right now. Otherwise, of course, you are more than welcome to see us at our booth 103. And so thank you very much for your attention, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, stay here. Stay here.
Yeah.
I missed to introduce myself. I'm the Deputy Director of Staccarta, the Italian Paper Industry Association, the Director of Aticelca, the Association of the Italian Technicians of the Paper Industry. So talking about paper, packaging paper, it's honey for my ears, of course. I really like that. Before asking you something, and leaving the floor also for questions from the public, I just want to give you a few data. One is that a GfK survey tells us that 55% of people want recyclable packaging when they purchase products. Meaning one citizen every two, they want it, and they look at that when they purchase. Then we have that this data is even more relevant for youngers. We have a Boston Consulting study say that 83% of the young people are ready to pay more for a sustainable packaging. And finally, we have a two-sides report from last year that tells us that 62% of the people consider paper as the most sustainable packaging material. So we have a point here. I mean, it's not just a niche product or somehow just a moment of interest, but this is something that will probably remain. But now I come to the question. Still, if I go to a store, I don't find so many tissue products in paper packaging. Do you think that is coming, is growing? Do you have some idea on which is the market share, for example, of the tissue product in paper packaging now in Italy?
So actually, for sure, it will increase. I mean, it has to be because, I mean, we talk to customers every day, and we know that it will be a trend. You know, the process is not limited to wrapping. That is probably, I will not say easy, but it's one of the easiest part. Then you know that there is then stocking, delivery. So actually, probably what is still needed is, let's say, complete the whole process to the shelf to make it really running in different figures. Today, it still represents a niche market, but we understand we have more and more requests also to retrofit this capability of machines to run paper also on existing equipment. So we are sure that it will grow a lot. I forgot to mention during my presentation, but of course you mentioned recyclable paper, plastic as well. One of the tasks that we are facing is also working on with PCR materials. And we successfully made some trials with the recyclable materials. So actually, as I told you, we're not focused only on paper or only on biodegradable. We're trying to have a wide vision. What is important is that at the end we can deliver to our customer machines which are easy to use, do not require a huge changeover when changing materials, because we understand that at least for a, let's say, for a short period, flexibility on those materials is the key point. So conventional is not disappearing tomorrow. Of course, we have to build a path to go to non-conventional or more sustainable materials. And I think that the smart way to do it is delivering equipment capable to be flexible to make this process possible for all of our customers, all the players of our market.